After the Westworld finale, I still don't understand what's happening in Westworld. I'm a bad Westworld fan. There, I said it. Westworld is one of those shows that rewards close engagement. It torments and tantalizes fans with clues buried in trailers and promotional websites, dizzying us with stories told across multiple timelines and pulling the rug out from under our feet with plot twists. I love it. I watch it every week. But I love it casually. You know how people on the internet sometimes talk about watching the show with a distant cousin who hasn't followed the plot and has no idea what's going on? Well, Westworld fans, consider me your idiot cousin. I don't keep up with the fan theories on the internet. I don't even attempt to decipher the riddles that co-creators Jonathan Nolan and Lisa Joy have carefully hidden in every episode. I'd completely forgotten that we spent a lot of time last season worrying about someone called Wyatt. I've never set foot in the notoriously paranoid Westworld subreddit. In short, I haven't done my homework. My colleagues are out there doing the hard work. They've been recapping every episode and even digging into the original film's forgotten sequel in search of clues. Meanwhile, I've been hiding behind my hands and whispering encouragement to my favorite robots, as though they might be able to hear me through the screen. Please be careful, precious killer robots. Remember to dress sensibly and try not to get shot. Who even knows? It's Westworld, and at this point the show's got me so mixed up that I still don't know who we can expect to see in the future.
No, I'm not a writer.
Okay.
Don't get me wrong. We saw plenty of bloodshed. Even after the trail of deaths that we've seen in Season 2, it was brutal. We've already said goodbye to some excellent robots in recent weeks, but it was nothing compared to what we witnessed this episode. Clementine rides through the crowd of hosts like death on her pale horse, and all hell breaks loose, turning hosts against each other in a violent free-for-all. Most distressingly, we lose the indomitable Maeve, my favorite host, and one who's dodged death so many times she's begun to seem immortal. To see her go so soon after being reunited with her adorable squad of robots and humans is particularly heartbreaking. But then, has anyone ever died in Westworld and stayed dead?
Is the moments for those who.
Maybe it's the denial talking. Characters I loved were dropping like flies, and their deaths weren't satisfying. Yes, Maeve got a nice moment with her daughter, but she barely seemed to care that Clementine's been re-engineered into an angel of robo-death. Meanwhile, Hector and the rest of her crew went down with barely any acknowledgement. Do we get a touching final moment for Snakeface Lady and her Shogun World twin? Nope. Elsie? Boom. Gone. Westworld has always been cruel, but are we really going to let go of so many characters in one fell swoop? Have Nolan and Joy really burned the world down as promised? Is this how Avengers fans felt as they stumbled out of Infinity War? I just watched all those beloved characters die. But in the back of my mind, I was already trying to calculate which of them might find a way back to our screens. After all, Dolores died and was resurrected in the course of a single episode. Ford ended the last series with a bullet through his head, but he just spent a string of episodes camping out in Bernard's brain. Will we ever see the last of anyone? I really do think we've seen the last of Lee Sizemore. He's a character whose name I only learned a week or so ago, having managed perfectly well just calling him the awful writer guy since episode 1. Sizemore has had perhaps the most complicated character journey of all. He began the series as an arrogant jerk I couldn't stand and morphed into a hapless jerk I wound up liking despite myself. Even his final heroic moments in this episode were characteristically obnoxious, but I wouldn't have it any other way. Meanwhile, it looks like Bernard and Dolores have survived to form an uneasy alliance. But their circumstances are just as mysterious as ever. Does Bernard have a physical body anymore? Are they chilling in some sort of virtual space, or is this the real world? What are you doing, Westworld? As Joy and Nolan promised, the finale answered some of the questions that have had us scratching our heads for the past few weeks. We've had a peep inside the Forge and wandered around in James Delo's simulated mind. And we learned that the library really does contain the data of everyone who's ever visited the theme park. We also learned more about the long-sought valley beyond. It seems to be a virtual Eden for hosts who leave their bodies. The ones who make the jump seem happy enough in their new pastoral idol, and certainly seem happier than everyone who gets hacked to pieces in the ultimate robot death match going on a few feet away. But of course it's not good enough for Dolores. She's done with gilded cages and is prepared to wipe out the lot of them along with the human stored data. Later she has a change of heart and saps the valley off somewhere else instead, taking the hosts who crossed over along with it. Does that mean we're never going to see Akita or Maeve's daughter again? Or are they being held in storage, ready to come out and run rampant in the real world someday? And then there's a question that seems to be answered, but the answer only prompts further questions.